Well, it seems peaceful enough, doesn't it? All tranquil and serene, but apparently not. So on Facebook, a post went up, and it got so heated that the admin of the group deleted it. It really got that bad. So I figured if people were that ranged out about it, I should make my own post on my own page. So I took a quick copy-paste of it, put it on my page so that nobody else can delete it. I hate when that happens. And shortly after all hell broke loose, the weed war began. So for those of you who don't know, I'm fairly active on a lot of different social media streams, and Facebook seems to be the SM of choice for a lot of people that live in Orangeville. So please, if you haven't already, do check me out. I accept virtually all friend requests, and I'm happy if you come say hello. Anyway, so you see, in this part of the world, actually most of the first world, people expect their front yard to be, well, pretty much perfect. Think Leave It to Beaver from the 50s.
And Jerry Mathers as the Beaver.
A perfect lawn framed by a white picket fence, and everywhere should look like it came from the pages of Better Homes and Gardens, right? Which is great. Hell, I'll buy into that false utopia any day, but it comes with a price. Chemicals to control those pesky weeds, and that's where the debate all flared up. Save the bees versus manicured lawns, those cancer-causing chemical hell versus golf course nirvana. So I think I remember this starting up at the schools first. Some parents somewhere complained about kids running on chemical-treated schoolyards, and so, it really isn't a good idea, right? So the school boards pretty much all stopped the practice, but they didn't bother doing anything to replace it. They just stopped using chemicals. In enters the dandelion, named that for the lion-tooth edge and some such bad French translation of that or something, I don't know. But anyway, it's not even native to here. But someone thought it was a great idea to bring it to North America back in the Mayflower days. Gee, thanks. So it's here, and without chemicals, it's pretty hard to control. But who cares? Well, I guess a lot of people. True, you can ignore it and just keep cutting the lawn, and for the most part that works, well, sort of. At least it looks okay if you don't look too close. But then the weeds shoot up again super fast, especially this time of year. Unless you cut every day, you're going to have a seed-covered mess pretty soon. Is this bad? Shouldn't we just accept this as the new normal for the world we live in? Is it really worth risking cancer for a perfect lawn? And if we are doing this for the environment, why cut the lawn 7 times a week to make it look pretty? Isn't that defeating the whole purpose? Then you have the other side of the whole argument saying it makes allergies worse, and maybe. So what is the worst health concern? And how is cutting the lawn every couple of days eco-friendly? That's putting pollutants into the air too, right? It raises a whole bunch of points, and even our local Banner newspaper, which you can check them out on orangeville.com, they contacted me to ask about this for a possible story they were doing. One lady I spoke to has figured out a better solution to all of this. Grow something besides grass. She has planted lilies that, once fully grown in, will choke out anything else, including dandelions. And she also... Hi, Kathy. She also pointed out that a few feet away from where the town did cut the lawn was an area of wild grasses that had no dandelions, which gets us back to expectations and really what we assume is normal when really it might not be. What is normal? One other thing to throw into this dialogue, artificial grass and or xeriscaping. The new fake grass is amazing. It looks perfect and requires no work. If you've ever seen it, you almost can't tell it apart from grass, other than there's no weeds, and it looks really nice. Xeriscaping uses other no-maintenance materials, like gravel, rock, or plants that look after themselves, and maybe one of these is really the best option. So, what do you think? As for me, I'm still with the Leave It to Beaver group. I like a perfect lawn, and you know what, with that, I think I better go mow my own lawn. Oh, and did you know that by cutting in a circle, you don't have to stop for ends of runs or corners? Once you get started, you just keep walking. Very efficient. It makes a cool pattern in the grass that any overhead UFO can use to guide them in. Okay, well, that was fun, tiring, but a successful end to the opening for the Orangeville Miners Soccer opening weekend. They had this big weekend, but every year I'm in such a big rush to get all your equipment together. Anyway, I rushed out of the house and I forgot to put on sunscreen. Here, thank goodness, I wore a hat, so I'm not totally burnt to a crisp, but I am burnt. And Michael, you're my manager this year, aren't you?
Yes, sir.
So what do you think of the teams?
Pretty awesome.
Many years I coach as many as 4 teams in a summer season. I know it's crazy, but anyway, no, just the 2. So anyway, that's about it for Sunday, and I'm gonna try to get caught up on some of my vlogs. I have a whole bunch of vlogs that I filmed. I haven't had time to edit. My apologies. I know there's some people waiting to see those. And got anything else to add, Michael?
Have a good weekend, Mrs. Lesson. See you later.
See you later. So, Mrs. Lesson, if you're out there, that's your teacher, right? Have a good weekend.